Y'all, I'm back, y'all. Yeah, I had to wash my onesie because this is, wow. There literally should be a law. Being this cold should literally be a prosecutable offence. I kid you not. If I was a judge, I would prosecute this cold weather to the fullest extent of the law. I'm not kidding. It's that cold, I can't even turn my heating off. See, when I live with like 0.1 heater. Yeah, because my main one ain't working, and the housing association said it's not a priority. So they want me to get ill, but it's not gonna happen. I just have to just wear more clothes. But yes. Let's talk about spiritual attacks. You know something? Had this been, in all honesty, had this been like a couple of years ago, where my mind was in a totally different, well, actually, my mind was cocooned and weighed down with not only just generational curses, I had my own karmic debts to pay off, you know, as well as others placing things on me, you know. So, yeah. But it's been a transition. It's been a journey, let's just say that much. I'm more so to the point, I strongly feel it's also more about understanding yourself and also seeing yourself the same way the creator sees you. Yeah. And a lot of things, like, because I like to watch a lot of different kinds of videos, I do. I can't help it. It's like they all have their own individual piece that comes to that table, that makes any sense. They all play a different role. And for the most part, it's just confirming to me what I already believed, what I already saw, you know? And people were trying to deem me crazy or bipolar or what's the other one? Schizophrenic. That's a new one. That's a new one. I'm not saying I don't have schizophrenia in my family. I would never like downplay any kind of mental illness because I suffer with mental health myself, so I know too well what that does, you know. But I do have mental health, mental illness in my family as well. The family that I thought I belonged to, let's just say that. Yeah. Come to find out that, yeah. I don't. But that's another story. I'm not here for that anyway. So, with that being said, and over this journey, I've learned a lot of new things. My eyes have been opened up to a heck of a lot. I wouldn't, even though the spark and the curses that I had over my head, you know, because some of the curses that I had to break, oh boy, it's taken me decades. Decades. But I never gave up hope. And I think that is what ultimately prepares you for this next stage. Yeah. Because there's probably times before in my past where I probably did give up. Or just give up for a while, do you know what I mean? And just, I don't know, focus on something totally different and just let things blow over my head. But at the same time, I know for a fact God was giving me certain storms or slow me down in certain aspects on purpose because he saw things that I wasn't awakened to. Yeah. And I'm super grateful for that. Super grateful for that. So I've literally spent the last week just really going over a few things, tying up loose ends. I'm also just giving praise and mourning the ones that didn't make it, you know? The ones that were taken out. Because what what I was up against was no joke. No joke at all. And I would not be here had it not been for my bloodline or my divine ancestors, as well as God and all the other spirit team. People I've never heard of before in my life. So I've had to be Googling, who's this person? How long ago did they live? What do they do? And da. You know? But then just to hear that I have that support is astonishing to me. Is something that I've never experienced in life, should I say that? To then be told, to then hear your ancestors say that they're proud of you and they're celebrating you. Not if my own family have said that, you know. But I do understand why I had to go through all the things I went through. Because at first I did, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't. Because I wasn't awakened yet. So even though I still was able to get through things, I was angry, I think. I was angry. And it's my mind just stayed in one place. It's I thought I was protecting myself by just blocking everything out, which wasn't good, you know? Until it came to a point where I had no choice but to wake up, whether I liked it or not. And the funny thing is, it came at a time where I wasn't ready, not gonna lie to you, I wasn't ready, but I was given a choice. I was given a choice at the end of the day. And for the most part, it just proves to me I made the right choice. Because they say, many get the call, but only few answer. And I didn't really understand what that meant. Boo boo. I understand now. Absolutely. I understand now. Because it's not for the faint of heart. And it just reassures to me that, of course, I'm strong, I'm tough. But sometimes you don't have to be tough, you know? You don't have to be strong. And then you're reminded, my child, this is your destiny. You signed this contract at birth. I'm like, what? So immediately you've got to remember all that. But for me, it was seeing my divine ancestors happy and certain of my blood lineage, they was released, they was set free. And to me, it made it all worth it, you know? It made it all worth it. It made it all worth it. Because then it just teaches you there's always a solution to every problem. No matter how big the problem looks from the outside, once you go within, and this is something I've never done before. So, yeah, to get these tools now was literally perfect timing. And I kind of understand why certain things just blocked from me, you know? Because basically, you have to earn it. As mad as it sounds, you could say, yeah, but if I was born with this and that, then I should just be able to just have it. It doesn't work like that, because that's what I thought. Stupidly, that's what I thought. And yeah, You have to prove your worth, you know? Yeah, you have to prove your worth. And the other thing is, little do you know, it's literally like every other action is a test. But you're not told it's a test. 'Cause obviously, if you was told it was going to be a test, you would act accordingly to make sure you pass that test. So you're never told. You just have things thrown at you, thrown at you, thrown at you. And it's up to you how you choose to push through these things, you know? What actions you take, what mindset you keep, you know? What's in your heart, what you choose to follow. For me, I've had to drop a lot of burdens and let go a lot of things that I literally thought was normal, and actually wasn't. And I can kind of feel the difference now. I'm talking like even, and I watch, I'm not gonna, I can admit I like to watch Emmerdale. I don't watch EastEnders, blah 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 blah. I like music, but there's certain music you're not really supposed to listen to at all, especially if you're on a spiritual path. And I get that now, because without realizing, there is actually spell work in the music, and without realizing it, it does start to, how can I say, get a hold of you in the sense of the way you talk, the way you act, just your whole persona in general. And I've seen that now. And then once I realized that, I had to go through the initial shock of, I felt ashamed. But God said, don't be ashamed, purely for the fact of, now you know better, you know, now you're supposed to act accordingly. And I get that. It kind of made me feel a lot better. It did. I'm not going to lie to you. Because there's nothing worse than the feeling of shame and embarrassment, you know? But yeah, once you know, that in itself also protects you. Do you know what I mean? Because what you're not realizing is certain things you indulge in, that's what's leaving little cracks and crevices. Do you understand me? For other things to, how can I say, infiltrate, you know? Some things is a bit hard. Do you know what I mean? Because then you got to weigh up the odds, innit? Is it spiritual or is it a desire, like an addiction? You know? Because it makes you change the way you think, the way you see things, your thought process. Then you start to act differently, move differently. And then once I was shown that, yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that, you know? Because you got to remember, although you have the gift of foresight, God can see your whole life already. Do you know what I mean? From when you're just born, He's already got it mapped out. It's about you waking up to it, if that makes any sense. Which is where karmic families come in that sense. Because they play a role in keeping you subdued and keeping you contained so that you don't break free or you don't awaken to who you're supposed to be. And that's what I've discovered. As harsh as it is, as hurtful as it is, and as damaging as it could have been, I'm glad that I experienced it, you know, because it makes sense as to why things happened the way it did, you know, especially when you're made to think that is you, when in actual fact, it ain't that. It's that's the trick of the devil, point blank period, and your comic family, to be quite honest with you. And it's like now, considering they've been cloaked and hidden for so long, they were actually my biggest enemies. Yeah, they was my biggest enemies. my so-called siblings that I would never have dreamed of for a split second that they would ever harbor the hatred they do for me out of just pure jealousy and envy, because they always look on the outside, you know, and they're all therefore is like materialism, and I've never been like that. So don't be fooled where people make you feel like, oh, if your hair ain't a certain way, if you don't wear a certain makeup, you look just a certain way, then you're not beautiful. Let me tell you something. Everybody's beautiful. Beauty is not on the outside. Real beauty comes from within. You know, you can be beautiful on the outside and your soul's ugly, and it comes out in your character. You know, which now a lot of people are trying to fake their character in order to gain what they want. But little by little, if you look good and pay attention, you can see the red flags. And I'm saying this because I didn't see these red flags, you know? So I'm going to beat myself up for it because it is what it is, isn't it? I can't change that. But what I can do is use that as a solid tool in moving forward. Do you understand? And for everybody, it's different. Do you know what I mean? Which is why some things you're meant to share and others you're meant to keep to yourself, purely because I learned that, especially when they don't know how you figured it out. If you tell them, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to cover those tracks even better so that they don't make those mistakes, you know? And that's the kind of person I used to be. I used to be so upfront. I used to, like, when people just say, well, how do you know? And shit off the back, I was always in defense mode. I tell them, it's this, you know? And then gradually as time got on, all the things that I relayed out not realizing, the same things you meant to keep to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how I was before, years ago. The same people that's been in the background attacking me for no reason, just to steal. Yeah, they would just cover their tracks even better, innit? But then it would still end up in the same type of scenario. But because they always did, when people so used to doing, when people are so used to having the same MO and it always working, they're reluctant to change. That's their downfall. Their reluctance to change, you know, because they don't see nothing outside of that one set of MO, you know. That's where you go wrong. I've learned that myself, you know, with my own self, in a good light, not in the negative side. But yeah, which is why they continue to do the same things the way they did. So they thought they was up in their game by sending fake people around me, which I could sense, you know. I just won't say anything. So you think you're pulling all over someone's eyes, and I just cut you off because I haven't got time for it. I'm not here for that. Excuse me. I'm not here for that point blank period. And I also know that there's people in higher places of authority that have targeted not just me, other people like me, more advanced to me, different gifts than me, you know, because they chose the easy route. And I'm not judging them for whatever route they chose because I don't know the situation they was in when they made that decision. That's all them, innit? Do you know what I mean? But these are the same people trying to condemn me. Like they have the audacity to be trying to condemn me. But yet they're trying to paint themselves a certain way. I know that this sounds really crazy, but yeah, that's just That's really what it is. It wasn't easy. It's not easy, but then that's how you grow as a person. That's what helped you to evolve, you know, and ascend. Yeah. Especially when people watch every little thing you do. When you post things, you'll have people. I know I got a lot of trolls out there saying, "Hey trolls." Doesn't bother me. I don't really look at that, you know. I'm not on there to watch who's saying what. Okay, if I waste my time on who's saying what, I ain't gonna get anywhere. That makes no sense, you know. Because that's just negative energy. I'm not negative, you know. So for me, I stay focused on positivity. If I sense negative energy, I'm gone. Point back period. I know people can cloak themselves. That doesn't work. You can tell just from what they say. And if you look good, what they're saying ain't matching up with their body language. Do you understand? Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But I'm still here. Which is why I read to my God somewhere now. And the thing about it, God said it to someone just the other day. He said, watch how animals take to you. Yeah, I've noticed that as well. And had this, I saw this little puppy today, it was 4 months old. I think it was a black Labrador, beautiful little doggy. And I think the person was walking their dog. And some people, they do get funny. And I feel the energy off of them, you know, like very standoffish. It is what it is. People are just prejudiced, don't like people of my colour, and that's fine, that's up to them. That's not my burden to carry. I don't know why they feel the way they feel, so I'm not gonna take on that energy of why they feel the way they feel or that nasty energy. When an animal's trying to show me love or show me some type of like trying to say hello kind of thing. But this person allowed the dog because they're going that way, but I'm passing this way and the dog was trying to get to me. Tyler, it's so cute. I said, oh, can I touch it? Make sure the dog doesn't bite first. That's first and foremost. I always ask the owner first. There are times when I didn't ask and they literally would just yank their dog, and the way they would be, I could just feel they was just oozing that resentment. You can feel it, and I know because I've been in it myself. I've been in darkness, so I know what it feels like, and I'm not, nope, can't do it, you know. And it's sad because you got to think so. It's a good job that person had good energy, because whatever energy you're projecting onto that animal. That's why animals turn a certain way, because of their owners. Like if you go around being aggressive all the time, screaming, shouting, swearing, and just being angry, what do you think you're passing down to that dog? That same type of energy. What do you think that's also going to do? They're going to go out and act the same way. And I've seen it. I've gone to say hello to another person's dog, and I asked the person first. And what upset me was the fact that that same person, you know who you are, they said, oh, go on then. They said it all blase, like it was nothing. And I didn't go straight in. I kind of gently went towards the dog. And as I knelt down, on that person, they're lucky their dog had a muzzle, because had that dog touched me an inch, they would have been in living hell, let me tell you. Because for the simple fact of I asked them, you know, and it looked like the dog was unhappy. The dog looked unhappy, you know. So I was just trying to show the dog a little bit of love and a little bit of care. What it obviously needs, but where it's been in that negative energy for so long, that dog needs to be trained, because that dog's gonna seriously do somebody some harm. And I don't understand, that should not be allowed in society. That's disgusting behavior. Dogs are not meant to be like that. You understand? If you're gonna have your dogs like that, don't be out in public with your dogs like that, because you'll be up on a charge, so let me tell you, because that dog was so big. If that dog chose to attack me, there would be nothing that person could have done. Nothing. And then within what, a week or two later, I seen that same person again. And this is what the biggest joke comes. Same type of attitude, same type of MO. Angry, screaming, shouting, swearing, agitated. And he had 2 dogs. And I was kind of glad there was a distance, yeah. I already blocked them on all my platforms already. Cut them off. I'm not into people like that, I'm sorry. And he made a point of being extra to say hello to me. Because I would not have said anything to him, you know? Nah. And he was still doing the same kind of attitude on the phone. I'm thinking, well, when I saw you last year, not last year, like in the summertime, you had 1 dog. Now you have 2. People like you need locking up. Do you understand me? And I don't remember seeing a muzzle on those dogs, to be quite honest with you. It was early in the morning, I remember seeing a muzzle on a dog, and I think to myself, I could see it happening. I would not like it to happen, but I can see it happening, you know? And I thought to myself when I passed him, should I have said something to him? You know, people's got an attitude where you cannot give them any kind of advice because the way they respond. And I just wasn't, I had other things to do, and I was not gonna allow anybody to upset my day purely because they didn't know how to deal with dogs, basically. So I just left it alone. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, isn't it? But yeah. And that'll be the biggest downfall, because it's gonna happen. You can see it's gonna be a build up. You can see it because dogs are like happy, loose, relaxed. This dog wasn't. It was just like, it just didn't look. It didn't look like it should have been, put it that way. He's got this muzzle on his face. It looked uncomfortable, angry. He might have been hungry. I think it was at the carnival as well. You got around tons of people. It was in carnival when I first seen it. And I thought to myself, this is like the wrong kind of place for a dog of that magnitude. Like people have dogs for like a fashion statement, which I don't get that. But anyway, I'm just kind of veering from the subject. But yeah. So yeah, I was playing with this little dog, and even when I was trying to say bye, it's like the dog was trying to jump on me, basically. Like the dog wanted to come home. If I could, I would have taken the dog home with me. Don't get twisted, you know. But yeah, I will have a pet one day, but not here, you know. Because I already see one neighbor walking his dog on the pavement, like, no, not even on the pavement. He walks his dog in the road. So I'm looking at him like, and I'll go outside and I'll see shit on the floor. It's like, really? But I see you picking up leaves and throwing it over the railings, but you don't pick up your own dog shit. That makes sense, you know? I mean, you heard me speaking about where he's walking his dog. Funny enough, I go back in, I put some nuts up for the squirrels and the birds. I came back in, I think I came back out about an hour later to put the bins out. Imagine, I've already been out there early in the morning. And I came out in my slippers because he sees me every morning. And I actually took a video of him swiping the food off the wall on purpose, making his dog eat it. I videoed him. I'm gonna put it on the neighborhood watch thing, and then all of a sudden, conveniently, I've come back. I've gone out. That's it. I've gone to go out again, and there's 3 steps out there. Yeah, and this is right on the middle step, because obviously the top step, no one's really gonna be looking down, because I know the stairs is clean, yeah. But I always do, but something made me look before I stepped anyway. Right across the whole step was urine. Yeah, it covered the whole step, and I thought, I just knew straight away, because the first one I thought to myself was, now there's no footprints, number 1. Number 2, there's no splash marks or spray marks, which means there was nobody stood there pissing. Even if it was a dog that stood and pissed on the middle step, which I doubt that, yeah, you would have saw little round specks from where because nobody pisses perfectly and doesn't make a splash. Okay? There was none of that. Just a perfectly poured full step of piss, and it stunk. So I knew it was off with this idiot that I videoed swiping the food off the wall. Do you know what I mean? And I see them out there walking his dog with no lead. Walking his dog with no lead. Like, your dog's supposed to have a lead on. That's the law. And he's out there every morning. So I think it was like retaliation. Or he put it on the step because the tradesman button's not on, so he couldn't let himself in the block. He took my property from outside my front door and stuck it in someone's plant pot. I videoed that also. I just haven't put the report through yet, but I'm going to put the report through because you don't treat people like that, you know? But this is the kind of people we live with in society. You know? When you call them out on something that they know they're doing wrong, these are the same people that will gang up with like the rest of the residents and smear your name. Because another neighbour a few doors down said to me blatantly, like, yeah, the woman said to him to be careful of me because apparently I'm a drug dealer. I've never been a drug dealer in my life. Like, that's defamation of character, and she warned him to stay away from me. So to me, that's slander. Like, lady, look, I don't see. In fact, I probably will make a lawsuit against you because of all the shit you've been doing. Do you know what I mean? When I was putting rubbish out one day for the council to come and get, she was throwing at me out the window. Be it that my next neighbour put the same kind of rubbish out there, and they didn't say a thing to her. Yeah. Now that I should have videoed, you know? Not nice people. And these probably the same people that are sitting in the darkness, like doing the hate campaign and black magic and stuff like that. Yeah, I can imagine. You know? But no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Return to sender. So yeah. But other than that, newer levels, bigger devils. So yeah. I won the battle, but the war still continues. The main thing is though, all involved are going to be held accountable. Doesn't matter how much they try to slow things down. To now, even the universe is working against them. And that's their own doing, you know? It is what it is. You cannot attack someone innocently that's done nothing to you. Probably because you don't like the way they look, or you don't like the way they dress, or the colour of their skin. That makes no sense. Yeah. Because the whole smear campaign that was done, I haven't looked purely because I have no interest to, you know? I know it's lies, you know? I know it's not me. So they can fake whatever pictures they want to. They can use AI to try and alter stuff I've said. They can keep taking the little screenshots of my videos and trying to chop and change things and trying to present like, oh, change the narrative to suit their little agenda. It's not going to work. Or to get a reaction. And guess what? They're still waiting. Yeah, they're still waiting. I have no interest at all. You know? So they then proceed to incorporate others into their propaganda or their attack on one person, like a whole community of people. And when I first heard this, I thought, nah, we've got to be joking, you know? Until I started to see certain things myself, or like notice, you can feel the difference in the energy. Do you know what I mean? Even the hostility of people, strangers in fact. You can see it. Yeah. And they're still doing it as well, man. It's not gonna work. Just return it to them. I may be probably getting targeted the most, but I'm not the only person being attacked. You know? There's quite a few of us that are getting attacked. Come to find out, I've been some type of, what is it? Pet project or some type of research. So they've been doing this to me since I was a child. And I think that is the biggest thing that I have to heal from. Because all that MK Ultra shit is real, you know? They do that to you in order to kind of like steal that memory or push it down so far. You've got missing pieces, you know? So you've got blotches where you remember certain things. And then you've got a period of your life where it's a haze, you can't remember anything. Yeah, and all those pieces are now coming together. So it's like, this is my season of healing. And it's fine. I don't mind, because it just means more self-care, more self-love, more little treats, what I call them treat me days. But there's nothing like extravagant, you know? Like I might watch a movie or get my nails done. I won't go to the cinema. No. There's just certain things that I don't engage with, you know? Yeah. And you have certain days where you just be giving gratitude. Those are essential as well. Even if you're not sure what to be grateful for, still be grateful. That's the key, you know? But a lot of people are too busy wrapped up in what's on the outside. And that's where you're going wrong. Cause I did the same thing, you know? It took me a bit of time to get that bit. Yeah, you know. You like keep flip-flopping, and you're given a choice. You need to make a choice and stick to it. You can't flip-flop, you know. Like just piss off the universe and God at the same time. But yeah. So for the most part, it's healing and learning, ascending and starting a new path. Yeah. And getting through this cold as well. But it didn't rain though, because I'm quite sure they said it was gonna rain. And I swear to you, I said, I didn't really want it to rain, so I was asking the universe, like, please don't let it rain. If it is gonna rain, at least let me get indoors first, you know? I don't mind getting wet, but when you're getting wet too often, it's not good for your immune system, I don't think. Nah. Because then it takes long for you to warm up. Yeah. And the cold kills as well. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you're not looking after yourself. It can literally take you out. Because it shuts down all your system, innit? And it just feels like you want to go to sleep. And you go to sleep and you don't wake up. Yeah. I almost experienced that myself. But yeah, that's a whole other story. But yeah. I don't know how long I've been on there, but I think it's about, I try and keep these things short because sometimes you can just, no, I used to get carried away. I'm not saying say too much, then just overshare. And the same thing I was oversharing was being used against me to target me. So if I post certain foods, they would try to inspire it to poison the food that I have. I'm now learning that there's certain vegetables now that I can't eat because of the darkness that's been done over it, basically, just in general. And I kind of tested that a little bit, and I ate a little bit of it with my food. Oof, that wasn't good. Kind of gave me cramps. It literally just went straight through me. I was like, oh, no, 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 no. So, yeah. I don't mind it because your taste buds change all the time. It's weird. It's like you've been prepared for something else. Mm. And I'm quite sure now it's been confirmed on the news about another lockdown because of this pneumonia stuff, yeah. But if you remember correctly, I said this in July, I think. July, August. Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things that I was saying in July and August that I'm now actually see happening. I'm thinking, damn, and everybody's like, oh, do you plan to do this, X, Y, and Z? I'm like, really? I'm actually like all surprised. And I'm thinking to myself, but hold a minute. I said this months ago, you know? I already said this, that this is what's gonna pan out, you know? And now here we are. It's on its way. So, yeah. So other than that, I had a good day at theatre today. Ready for the next year to do another play. Yeah. I like it though. It's been good. It's been good for my growth as well. You know? Even though they allowed that man that assaulted me before, they've allowed him to come back and trying to act like I'm supposed to act like nothing happened. That's not gonna work, you know? For that man to be in the same space as me, I don't want him nowhere near me. Cause the same way we did it sneakily before, but yet though he still did it in front of people, he can still do that shit again, you know? I don't see why I should miss out for someone else's disgusting behavior, you know? I was benefiting from going to the group. I wasn't going to the group to ogle at others like he does, like a little pervert. It is what it is, isn't it? I'm not gonna hold my tongue no more. Ooh. Oh, so sorry. Oh my gosh. Coronation Street, don't do it, don't. Oh my gosh. Dan was actually watching. I know. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go, you know. I'm so sorry. This is the only thing that I can't see again. I'm not sure if I can see it later, but it is getting a bit late. I like to be asleep by a certain time. Yeah. And that's the other thing as well. Find a routine that suits you and stick to it. Find a routine that suits you and stick to it. And keep it to yourself, you know. Especially if you're under any kind of attack. When people don't know what you're doing, they just attack you blindly. But if they know what you're doing, then they can try and like plan it and try and catch you when they think or they believe that you might be vulnerable, but you're never vulnerable, you know, because you always have your spirit to you, and you can invoke them at any time. I always do, you know, and I always call judgment every time I pray, before I go to bed, when I wake up, every day, you know. I've not got time to be sitting around wondering or trying to think what other people are up to. That's long. I ain't got time for that, you know. So at least this way, you've really put that layer of protection around yourself already, you know. And that's called being 10 steps ahead at all costs, you know. And it's worth it. It is worth it. It sure is. It is. I'm thinking to myself, can I just feel some draft coming from somewhere? It's like, what? Do you know what? This is the joys of living on the end. My neighbor next door, I went into her property and I was like, hold on a minute. And she's like, oh, I don't really have my heating on, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, it's nice and cozy in there. But I always see her patio door open. So I'm like, ain't you gold? And then she came in here to look at my cooker. And she was like, she could feel the difference compared to hers. Because she's sandwiched in between people and she got someone above her and below her. I'm just on the end. Always on the end. Every property I've lived in, I've been on the end. Yeah, that's weird. Every property I've had has always been on the end. It's like that's been like deliberately orchestrated. Yeah. Makes you wonder, innit? But yeah, that's all I want to say anyway. So just a little quick video. I haven't been posting that much probably because studying, you know, as well as doing other little things. Private things. It's not everything you must post, what I did before. So they kept like damaging things. So when I bought new AirPods, I just had in my ears talking, and obviously people stalk my videos, karmic stalk your videos, and spy and see what you're doing, see what you're wearing, anyway to try and set you up or do anything to upset your day in any way they can. Like, it's like, get a life. At this point, really get a life. Because the mountain of karma, should I say, that you've got backed up and you're still trying to plot. Come on now, do better. Do better. You want to try working on some of this karma you got. Because people seem to think that if they take out a chosen one, they can offset their karma. But what they're not telling people is the reason why they're going so hard for people like me is because they made a deal. They made a deal with the darkness war. They put you up for sacrifice and got money for it, and they realized that they couldn't take you out. So now they're getting shit for it because they couldn't take you out. You know, but they already took the payment. They already signed that contract, and they're bound to that contract, not us. So I'm not gonna burden myself with anybody's karmic debts. I'm so sorry. I don't care if you're my child. If you chose to make that decision, that's on your head. I'm sorry. And that's just the way it is. Do you know what I mean? If that might sound harsh, but I put myself in a fire line too many times, and it wasn't appreciated. You know, I'm not about to make that mistake again. You know, because once you take on that burden, that karma, however long that's for, you've got to go through that karma, and then that other person can go and mooch on someone else and leave you burdened with their karma. Oh no, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, always back on that. I need to gotta go. I'm so sorry. I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go. I can't even see. Let me see. Okay. Nice. Anyway, people, hope everybody has a good evening. And I'm off skis. Peace.